Hello there guys, it's MaxoDiddly here, and today I am here with one last tutorial on how to do a length check in Java. So yes, last time I said it was going to be the last episode, but I realised there is one more really useful way to do a length check, so I decided I had to make a video about it. So if you haven't watched the previous ones, I recommend you do, if you're not so confident in Java. So this length check is basically checking if the user input is not a certain value. Let's say the user has to input a phone number. It needs to be 11 characters, well for a UK one anyway. And say if the user inputs a 12-digit number, it's obviously going to be invalid. So we're going to check if the user input is not equal to 11. And if it's not equal to 11, then it's going to be invalid. So let's get right into it. First you need to create a couple variables. We're going to do string input. I can't type today. And we're going to set it to Jimmy. No, we're going to set it to Jim actually. And we're going to do int length, and that is going to be equal to 5. And we need to put an equals there because, yeah, I forgot to. So basically, length is the value that the user input has to be in length, otherwise it's invalid. Now we're going to have a little method. We're going to do public static boolean, if I can type today. I'm going to call it length check, and it's going to take in string in and int len as its two arguments. Oh my god, I can't actually type today. What is this? So, what does this method do? It's a boolean method. We called it length check. It takes in string in and int len as its arguments. String in will take the value of whatever input is, so in this case Jim, and int len will take the value of int length, which is 5. So this would take in Jim and 5 as its arguments. Then we're going to have a line of code, return in.length not equal to len. By the way, an exclamation mark instead of an equal sign is not equal to, which is basically a not in a logic gate. So, what does this line of code actually do? We're getting the length of whatever the string in is, which in this case is Jimmy, so this will take the form of 3. We're saying if 3 is not equal to whatever the value of length is. I meant len, which is length, so 5. So we're basically saying 3 is not equal to 5, which is true. Now we're going to do our little if statement where we call the method so I can show you what's going on. We're going to do if length check. We're going to add in our parameters of input, if I can type, and length. And then we're going to do j option pane.show message dialog, and we're going to set this to null and invalid. And then we're going to have an else here, if I can type. And in here we're going to do j option pane.show message dialog, and no, we don't need that many parameters. I mean, that many arguments in this one. And we're going to set this to valid. So, you may be wondering, Max, why have we got the invalid message dialog in the if bracket and the valid one in the else part? Usually it's the other way around. And you'd be correct if you said that. But let me explain how this works. We call our method, we pass in Jim and 5 into here. We get the length of Jim, which is 3, and len is 5. We are saying 3 is not equal to 5. This is true. Therefore, this would take the form of true, and then say invalid, as obviously we want the user input to be 5 characters, and Jim's only 3 characters. So if we put in Jimmy instead, we pass in Jimmy and 5 into our method. We're getting the length of Jimmy, which is 5, and len is 5. And 5 is not equal 5 is false, as 5 does equal 5. So this becomes a false, and a false will be put here. And obviously if it's a false, it will just go to the else part of the if statement, and therefore it's valid. That's why we have to do it the other way around. If that didn't make sense, rewatch, ask in the comments, or go back to other tutorials to gain a better understanding of Java, then come back here, as obviously this is a bit different. So let's just play it to test it. So this should be valid, yes, because 5 is equal to 5. And if we go back to Jim, it's invalid, because obviously 3 is not equal to 5. So that's all for this tutorial, guys. Be sure to leave a like in the comments if you enjoyed. If you got any questions, leave it down in the comments below. I'll get back to you as soon as possible to make sure you understand how this works. This is a really powerful tool in terms of checking the length. And this can save you a lot of time in an exam if you know how to use this, because it can be quicker than creating a range or something, where you only have one value that goes into the range. So yeah. So thanks for being a great audience, and we will see you next time.